Hey, I'm Chris Widener, New York Times and Wall Street Journal best-selling author of nearly 20 books. And I am super excited today because I'm here just outside of Seattle, up in the Cascade Mountains, a little town called Sammamish, at the headquarters for Made for Success Publishing and my good friend Bryan Heathman. I'm here to do what's called the Draft a Book in a Weekend experience. Now, I'm an experienced author. I've sold millions of copies of books, 13 languages, but it's also for the beginning author. So no matter where you are in your author stage, you are able to come here to what we call the Heathman Ranch. You're going to be able to come here for 2 days, and you start with your idea. Or maybe you're just in the very genesis of your idea. Whether you've got a full-blown idea or you're just at the very beginning of it, this is a great place for you to come here. You get to sit down for 2 days with Bryan and his team, and you'll leave with a 90-day plan for writing your book. They take you through story creation and concepts and table of contents and all those kinds of things so that when you leave, you have a plan and a strategy for writing your book. The Heathman Ranch is a beautiful place, as you'll obviously see. It's got great accommodations, fireplaces, it's warm. Really stirs your creative juices. Take 2 days and come and see the Bryan Heathman Made for Success Draft a Book in a Weekend experience. Let's go get started. So before we get started, I thought I'd sit down with Bryan and kind of go through a couple things about what you need to know as you're going through this process at the Draft a Book in a Weekend experience. And so first of all, Bryan, how about you just kind of give me an overview of what we're going to do?
Absolutely. So you're here for 2 days at the Heathman Ranch. We've got all the accommodations set up for you. You've got your room. We've got all your meals covered. We're going to be spending 2 days coming up with the creative for your book. By the time you leave, you're going to have a very exact writing plan broken down into small pieces so you can sit down and create. Now, we give you 90 days to write the book because I know I can hold your attention for 90 days. Okay? And I'm going to assign an editor to you for that 90-day period, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But to get started, we're going to be working on your audience targeting, what makes them tick. We're going to get your story inventory unpacked and a whole array of other things that are involved in writing a book.
Okay, so I imagine some people are probably looking here and going, okay, Chris, that's great for you. You've written a bunch of books. You're a best-selling author. What about me? I've never written a book before. Do you have to show up and be a great writer when you show up here?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because I don't think I've had a single English lit major come to the Heathman Ranch here and write a book. So,
and most of the people, I imagine, are first-time authors that have shown up here.
Yeah, first-time authors. They're usually an expert at something. They're a CEO or an athlete or somebody who's got some accomplishment that they want to talk about, but they haven't studied writing. So we provide a workbook that is available before you come here to the ranch that teaches you the 12 styles of writing for writing nonfiction books. Okay? And that will just help understand so that when you come, you've got a full head of steam when we sit down. We'll actually pick one of those writing styles and get you started on your writing process.
So the work is done before you actually show up.
Absolutely.
You're going through the workbook and everything. So
yeah, and some audio programs that you get to listen to kind of get your head in the game so that when we're here for the 2 days, I mean, it's all about rapid product development, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to be sitting with an expert for a couple days. So we want you to be up to speed as fast as we can.
Gotcha. Now, one last term that I've heard a lot, and most of you have probably heard the term, but you've applied it specifically to what you do, and it's this term, the hero's journey. Talk to us about how we go through that in this 2-day experience.
Yeah, okay. So the hero's journey, it's a storytelling method. In fact, it's one of the most effective storytelling methods on the face of the planet today. The hero's journey was developed in 1949 by a guy named Joseph Campbell, who wrote a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. And it's a storytelling method that makes for an interesting thing that kind of affects the human psyche. Well, we've taken the hero's journey and distilled it down to a 12-step process for writing nonfiction books. And you know, if you study the hero's journey, it's kind of esoteric, but this is kind of a nitty-gritty. What exactly do you need to know about writing that we can take clues from Joseph Campbell for writing this? Now, at the end of the process, when we're all done here, you're going to have your writing plan that's organized in this hero's journey format. in a proprietary format. That's part of the magic of what we do here at Made for Success for producing best-selling books, right? So that when you go home, there's going to be no ambiguity, there's going to be no guesswork about what you need to do. It's going to be right there in black and white in 800-word assignments, okay? And just about anybody can sit down and write an 800-word assignment without breaking a sweat. So that's the whole goal for the Draft a Book experience, and Chris, I'm excited about taking you through it.